Hey Titan Nation, Mr. Jebson here. I want to take just a quick minute to talk about what changes you're going to see next week as we switch to our new hybrid AABB schedule. First thing that's different is that we're going back to normal for our bell schedule. So we will have all 6 periods every day. That looks like this, in case you forgot. That schedule applies to at-home and at-school students. I want to be clear that we have school 5 days a week. It's not A days and the B days are off days for me because I'm in the A group. Negative, friend. We have school 5 days a week. Let's talk about what each of those days look like. If you are an A student, you have in-person classes on A days. On B days, as an A student, you have remote classes on those days. Got it? That means you're going to need to check in with your teachers every day during the designated period. Remember that schedule? If you are an at-home student, you will participate in all 6 classes every day according to the scheduled class times. If you're an at-school student, on your remote days, you will participate in your classes during your scheduled class times. Our main student groups are pretty easy. You are either Group A, which is last names A through K, or Group B, which is last names L through Z. If you have more than one last name, we go by the first last name. Any exceptions to those groupings have to come with principal approval. There are links in the email for the January, February, and March calendars. If you don't want to read the email, I'll pull them up here, and here, and here. January, February, March should be all set. As far as A and B day goes, those are the same for the district. So if you have a student in another school, A day is A day, B day is B day, doesn't matter which school they are in. Let's talk about Friday. I mean Personalized Learning Friday. Personalized Learning Fridays will be any Friday in a 5-day week. On the 4-day weeks, as you saw on our calendar, we just have 2 A days, 2 B days. It's a 4-day week. We have a lot of 4-day weeks in January and February, just the way the calendar fell. When we have a 5-day week and we have a Friday, those will be Personalized Learning Fridays. First 2 are a little bit weird for Collins, doing the same across town at Shelby County High School. And what we're doing is we're using that as an opportunity to do some testing for our students so we can get data and information in order to tailor personalized learning for our students. Makes sense, I promise. So, very first Friday, January the 29th, we're going to have all of our sophomore and junior at-school students come into the building where they will take the Mastery Prep Practice ACT test. It's a lot. It's a practice ACT test. We're going to utilize that day for that. And then February 5th, we're going to have all of our at-school 9th graders come in to do the winter MAP test. Both of these are diagnostic tests that allow us to see where students are, how we can help them improve. Obviously, one is geared more towards the ACT college entrance. This will be our sophomores' first chance to see a practice ACT, and our juniors' last one before they take the real thing in March. For at-home students on those days, you will stay at home, you will do those tests remotely, and we'll have all that information before we get there for all of you guys about testing. Once we get past the tests in the 4-day weeks, we'll be able to have our real Personalized Learning Fridays. That's going to be where any student that's failing a class is going to be required to come in, and any student that's not failing but wants the extra help or remediation is going to be able to come in, we think. We're working out the logistics of this, but right now the plan is for us, and this is district-wide, to have a shortened day. We're looking at about 8:30 to 12:30 to really target in on what help students need. In that block, students would all start with advisory, whether at school or at home, remote, etc. Everybody would start out with advisory, and then we'd have students an opportunity to sign up for 3 help sessions of an hour-ish, where they would get to focus in on those 3 classes where they need the most work. So that'll all be coming out when we get closer to that date. If you're a student driver or a car rider, instead of getting your temperature taken out in the front circle, we're going to take them as you walk in the door, either on this side by the office or on this side next to the gym. Doesn't really matter where you come in, but there'll be somebody in one of these entryways to check your temperature, make sure it's below 100 degrees. Every classroom is set up for social distancing, every seat. Here's how you know for sure your desk is set up. Watch how the tape is. See the tape at the back of the desk? That's right where the back legs of the desk go. And as always, masks are to be worn all the time except during designated eating times. What about lunchtime? Cafeteria seating, because we're on a new hybrid schedule, means we will have potentially a lot more space to sit. Here's the guidelines. We're not going to assign you a seat. We're going to let you pick one, and then you're going to sit there and enjoy a delicious meal. Here's the one catch. If a seat says, stop, do not sit here, like this one right here, don't sit there. That's it. All of our seats are set up and clearly marked with signs like that one that say whether you can sit there or not. We're also going to leave one side of the gym bleachers open for lunch so people have lots of room to spread out. If it is a snow-go day due to inclement weather and the district decides that we're not going to run buses and students will not be at school, we will have an NTI day, and it will function on a 6-period day, just like our regular bell schedule. And students will participate virtually whether A or B groups, and unless otherwise directed by the district, we will just keep going on and following the calendar that we already have. Well, here we have something really useful that our students can use to show exactly where they need to be and when, and this will work really well for hybrid learning when they're on their remote days, whether you're an at-home student or if you're an A or B group student. That gets confusing. So what you have here is a template that's going to show you which class you have each period, and you're going to need to fill this in for you, whether you're an A day or B day, whether you're at home or at school, and then an opportunity for you to fill in whether there's a Zoom link or a Google Meet, Google Classroom, things like that. That'll be useful. That'll be right where you need to find them. And then down at the bottom, you have a different tab for every possible option that applies to you. Could you be an A-day student with first lunch? And then you'll just copy and paste the information here, and that way Mrs. Ryan has set it up so the schedule is set on the class times for you to know exactly what you need to do and when. So fill in your information, find out exactly what you are in terms of which tab applies to your schedule, and it should be a way to make things go a lot more smoothly as we enter into AB days and hybrid learning. And that is a lot. Email me if I didn't cover anything, if you have any questions or concerns that were not addressed in this video. Otherwise, looking forward to seeing about half of our students on Tuesday here as we start our AB schedule. Thanks, Titans. You can use this QR code or this bit.ly link to access all of the documents referenced in this presentation.